Have you ever found yourself envying someone's life on social media? Or desperately wanting the new car or the designer item? Or maybe putting someone on a pedestal, thinking they're perfect? What if I told you that the ancient Stoics had a surprisingly effective technique for freeing yourself from these desires? It's the same ability that allows the ancient philosopher Sung Jin-Woo from the area of solo leveling to see creatures for what they truly are, while others may see them as illusions. Or how the philosopher Monkey D. Luffy declared, even in jail, I'm free, because he sees past physical constraints of what truly matters. Today, we're going to explore what might be one of the most practical and immediately useful Stoic exercises: the art of seeing things exactly as they are. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, once said, "Just as when meat or other foods are set before us, we think, this is a dead fish, a dead bird, or a pig, and also, this fine wine is only the juice of a bunch of grapes. This purple edged robe, just sheep's wool dyed in the blood from a shellfish." Or of sex, this is only rubbing private parts against each other, followed by spasmic discharge. In the same way our oppressions grab actual events and permeate them, so can we see things as they really are. Like, what is Lee talking about, folks? At first glance, this might sound cynical, even crude, or may not make sense. But look deeper and you'll find something revolutionary. Marcus is using what the Stoics called contemptuous expressions, which is deliberately unromantic language to strip away from the glamour and mystique from things we tend to overvalue. It's like when the philosopher Rudius from the area of Mushoku Tensei realizes that his previous life's obsessions were just empty distractions. And seeing past the illusion is what truly matters. So earlier when I was talking about just as when meat or foods are set before us, we think this is a dead fish, a dead bird, a pig. It's one of those things where you can reduce things from their glamorized state to just exactly what they are, and they can have a less impact on you. If you don't want to care about something, you want to be less attached to something, sometimes reducing it reducing it in simplest terms helps you disattach. And we're going to explain on that further. Think about that luxury car that you've been coveting, right? What is it really? Metal, plastic, and rubber just assembled in a factory. The designer handbag, animal skin, processed and sewn together. The perfect vacation photo on social media, someone standing awkwardly for 20 minutes trying to get the right angle, and that was the 50th picture on the roll. This isn't about becoming cynical or joyless. It's about seeing through the marketing, the social conditioning, and our own projections. Remember how the philosopher Sung Jin-Woo in Solo Leveling, he didn't get distracted by status or reputation. He sees the reality of each situation, the actual threat level, not what others perceive. That's why he can calmly face S-rank dungeons while others panic. And the character has some broken abilities. But the point is, we're using characters that just might be cool, might inspire you. Sometimes people focus on, this character's so cool, I wish I had those powers. But a lot of times, we may not have their powers, but we can adopt their mindset, right? If you like these kinds of content, you can adopt the mindset in which the artist or the writer inspired it from. The Stoics understood something profound. When we see things as they really are, stripped of meaning, when we see things as they really are, stripped of the meaning we projected onto them, we gain the freedom from their emotional pool. This isn't just philosophy. Once again, folks, what's the phrase? It's practical power. When you practice seeing things as they are, you stop envying others based on carefully curated images of their life, right? Because people are only showing the best things on their social media, and that's what you're looking at, and that's what you want. You think I'm going to put out my worst pictures? Actually, I would, because I just want to throw in a side note. When you follow, I'm just going to if you follow this, you follow this effort education. There's two ways of marketing. So you can market as luxury. I'm so grand. And you could also market that I'm one of you guys. And in a previous lesson, we learned about the tax, right? Whatever you portray, there's a tax associated with it. So if I market that I'm one of you guys, I'm just like everybody else. I also have to be prepared for people to sometimes look down on me because they're seeing me as one of them, which is potentially making me vulnerable. I can be touched. So they say mean things thinking they can get to me and not realizing that, right? So when you position yourself or you market yourself a certain way, you have to be prepared for what comes with that. So, perfect example, I may or may not brush my hair. So if I brush my hair, it protects my forehead a little bit. I could have put a little bit of something because I have some tools depending on what I want to do, and people leave me alone. People leave me alone. I just happen to not have cared, right? And people are going to say things. I actually forgot why I told you this. There was a reason. Oh, the reason is because I have an understanding of my situation and I break it down to its bare minimum and I reflected on paying the taxes for your position. I'm free from the emotional pool or certain things that should bother you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm online, I'm putting myself in public and I didn't brush my hair, right? So this is the kind of feedback or remarks I'm getting. Don't pay it any attention. They would not say that to me in person, and if it was in person and I was going out, they just wouldn't say that to me. I just know they wouldn't. Anyways, this isn't just philosophy, Wait. I kind of missed where I was. So I was saying, when you practice seeing things as they really are, you stop envying others based on carefully curated images of their lives, people only showing the best. You stop craving products that are designed specifically to trigger desire. You gain the ability to make decisions based on actual value rather than perceived status. And I want to even talk to you guys about, you stop craving products that are designed specifically to trigger you. Part of the marketing thing is they have a profile of who to market to, especially on social media or algorithms. So if there's 5 of you that hang out together and it can get to 1 of you or 2 of you and you guys start talking about it in a group because of the way things are, now before you know it, all 5 of you guys are talking about this. You got an advertisement. You guys are all talking about it. And then of that group, 3 or 4 of you are going to buy it just because you guys talked about it as a group because that algorithm was able to trigger your desire at a precise time. It's really scary. Anyways, you gain the ability to make decisions based on actual value rather than perceived status once you can pull away emotionally. Think about the philosopher Luffy, once again from One Piece. While others obsess over treasures, fame, or power, this philosopher sees past all of these illusions. To him, the One Piece isn't about wealth, it's about freedom. That's why he could say, I don't want to conquer anything. I just think the person who is the most free in the entire ocean is what philosophers call the pirate's king. And perhaps most valuable, you develop objectivity. Because when you can see through the impressions that permeate reality, you can engage with the world as it truly is, not as your bias presents it to be. Here's how to practice this Stoic principle today. First, identify something you strongly desire or envy. Now describe it in this most basic physical terms possible. What is it actually made of? What physical processes created it? Folks, we are getting ready to not be addicted to Amazon shopping with what we're talking about right now. Second, when you're scrolling through social media, practice mentally translating each envy-inducing post into what actually happened. Person spent 45 minutes staging a photo to create the impression of spontaneous joy. Third, before making your next purchase, ask yourself, what actually am I buying in physical terms? And what am I really seeking from this purchase? This is similar to how Rudius in Mushoku Tensei approaches his second chance at life. Instead of chasing superficial pleasures, he sees the world for what it is and focuses on genuine growth and meaningful connections. Ask yourself, how many of my desires are for the thing itself versus what I believe the thing represents? What would change if if I consistently saw through the impressions and glamour to the physical reality beneath? In what areas of my life am I most susceptible to being seduced by appearance rather than reality? Consider how the philosopher Sung Jin-Woo, his perspective completely changed after this man came back from his visions and his reawakening. What illusions in your life might you take what illusions in your life might you be taken at face value? Just as the hunters of solo leveling fail to see the true nature of the dungeons and what Jin-Woo is capable of, how can your perspective be changed? This is a world that will never stop trying to seduce you with impressions, images, and promises of fulfillment through acquisition. But today, we're here to tell you that Marcus Aurelius offers you a powerful tool, the ability to see through these illusions to the physical reality beneath, not to make life dull or joyless. It's not to become cynical or detached. It's to gain the freedom that comes from engaging with reality as it really is. It's the same freedom that allows Luffy to smile even in the most desperate situations because he sees past appearances to what truly matters. Practice seeing things as they really are. That clarity will always be available to you. Thank you for watching, guys. If you guys haven't subscribed, we ask that you guys do so. This content keeps getting better and better with you guys' engagement. And if you have any ideas, or like the direction of our script changes, let me know. Any feedback is appreciated. Until next time, I'm Rocky Lee. I'm out.